Time now for our rants and raves. I'm going to start with Jon.
Okay, the energy disaster in Texas has obviously been a huge story all week, and there's been some really great reporting coming out of there. I recommend the Texas Tribune, which is an online newspaper out of Austin, doing fantastic work. One sidebar story has been the self-immolation of Senator Ted Cruz, who decided it would be a good idea to hop a flight to Cancun with his family to get out of the deep freeze. I guess he claimed he had lost power and heated his home, and he decided to ride out the crisis in Cancun while his constituents were freezing. And he got caught lying about the whole thing. It's really a disaster for him. But I want to rave for the hustle of a local Houston reporter who decided to check out Cruz's claim that he'd lost power at his home, drove out to the home, is looking at it, and he notices there's a little poodle in the doorway. See him? Snowflake, the little poodle, had been left behind by the Cruzes. In this freezing cold home, a security guard outside told the reporter that he was feeding the dog and letting it out. But as one of America's 65 million dog lovers, this is just
terrible. It's almost as bad as Seamus, putting Seamus on the roof. All right, that was Mitt Romney's dog. All right, Lylah.
So I have a rant for Facebook in Australia. Earlier this week, they decided that they weren't going to allow the sharing of any sort of real news on the platform. It's about money. They don't want to pay publications anything for sharing those links or letting users share it or letting the publications themselves share it. So legitimate publications woke up the other day and discovered that their well-populated pages on Facebook were blank. People discovered that they couldn't share legitimate news sources back and forth. And so to me, that really eliminates one of the redeeming qualities of a platform like that. And it makes it easier for misinformation to be shared because real news really can't be. And there's also been all sorts of collateral damage. The net was cast really wide. So weather stations were eliminated, small local online-only news sites were eliminated. Emergency information was eliminated in the middle of a pandemic. And it was just really, I just think that that's a step in the wrong direction.
All right, Dan Kay.
I have a rant for people who don't understand when they should stay off social media. And today's nominee is Tim Boyd, the mayor, I should say the former mayor of Colorado City, Texas, who was tired of listening to his constituents complaining about being cold and in the dark, and just went on this epic rant. And here's a little bit of it. No one owes you or your family anything, nor is it local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this. Sink or swim, it's your choice. Just absolutely unbelievable.
I take it that typo was his, too.
Oh yeah, it was, and
had to be.
He did resign, but he didn't apologize. No. He said he had been taken out of context.
All right, Mike.
I'd like to give a rave to the media skills and news conference skills of Jake Sullivan, the new National Security Advisor, who most recently was teaching at the Carsey School of Public Policy at the University of New Hampshire, my current employer. So that makes me a little bit partial, but I must say, I watched his first news conference at the White House, and he was so impressive. I give him an A for his ability to handle the media with respect, obvious intelligence, and apparent transparency. This guy can handle a news conference as well as anyone I've ever seen. Now, we will see what the, I think, coming months and weeks and years hold. But for now, he gets an A and a rave, and it was refreshing to see.
Doesn't make you miss Sean Spicer, huh? All right. Well, finally tonight, I have a rant for someone I normally rave about, and it's Whoopi Goldberg. I couldn't believe what I was hearing the other day when I was listening to a section of The View. They were talking about the legacy of Rush Limbaugh and what each thought his legacy would be, and Whoopi had this to say.
So I would like his legacy to be a return to the fairness doctrine because, quite honestly, I don't mind hearing two sides of a discussion. What I do mind is hearing the vitriol and the hate that people seem to spew, both on television and in radio.
All right, the fairness doctrine only applies to broadcast, which is a dying art. Do we really want the long arm of government telling us what we can say, when we can say it? I don't think so. I mean, I would have less government interference. The last time, remember that Super Bowl incident, and they got fined for, a human breast showing? We need less government interference in our media, not more, Whoopi. Love you otherwise.